Would you please welcome with me this morning, Kevin Toney. Kevin, hi, how are you?
I'm doing great.
So you're an accomplished musician. We're really looking forward to hearing you play for us in a bit. But you were nominated for a Grammy at one point, and you've had a successful music career, which we'll hear about in a minute. But what was your life like before you found God?
Well, it was about the world of music. It was about practicing, trying to be the best I could, on my own accord, as much as I could practice. It was about hit records. It was about success. Many people know me from my background as being one of the original members of a group called the Blackbyrds. We had hit records out, and so I thought that was an image of success, okay? Having #1 records, gold records, sales, traveling around the world, having people hearing yourself on the radio. After being married for 25 years, I was facing divorce like this because of my unfaithfulness and cheating on my wife. By God's standards and man's standards, my wife had every right to divorce me. But by the grace of God, that didn't happen. And 11 years later, God is now using us as an example of how he can take what is broken, and restore a broken marriage. But the good news is that God restored our marriage, and we will celebrate 36 years of marriage later this year. Praise God. What I did glean from this later in therapy. There's some serious counseling after that, brothers. I got that sex was a physical activity. It was something that was discussed in private. There was no spiritual connection mentioned, no discussion on how to interact with women, no guidance on how I should love a woman, how I should speak with them, and what my attitudes and behaviors should be. What my dad was doing was what many men did in his generation and what we still do today. He was passing on generationally what was given back to him. So what was my father doing? My father was really telling me about the men's code. Guys, the men's code is this. The men's code is any reason, rationale that a man has to have sexual and emotional relationships outside of his wife or committed partner. So love your wives. Never treat them harshly. Love your wives. Let's just start there. And what love you here with understanding. She's your equal partner. Be forgiving. Be forgiving. That's one of the main things we can do. If you love your wife, if you love your mother, you got to forgive. musician, as a pianist, as a keyboard player, as a songwriter. That information, that talent almost destroyed my marriage 25 years into it. That's right, I was facing divorce 10 years ago like this. My fingers were crossed because of my bad behavior, my misconceptions, my cheating on my wife. Yeah, everybody know what cheating is? I almost lost my family. I almost lost my wife, who I treasure dearly. One of the most important things that God gave me, the news is that my marriage was restored. It was healed. I was healed as a broken guy. Because see, I had some misconceptions on how to treat a girl, how to treat my wife. And so see, I got those misconceptions, wrong ideals, bad thinking early on. I believe that mothers have a role, a significant role in teaching their sons about how to treat a female. After all, they are female. You know how you like to feel. You know how what respect means. You know if you've been hurt before, what that means. You know if you've been cheated on, or you know that when you've had joy, what does that really look like? You have to tell your sons.
Hi, good afternoon. I just want to say that this workshop was really helpful with a lot of tools for parents to help their sons.
Kevin, there are people in this church and people watching all over the world that are struggling in their marriages because of infidelity and things like this. There are people whose marriages are barely holding on.
Absolutely.
And they're listening to you saying, well, he worked it out, but I don't think we can work this out. What would you say to those people?
If you're in trouble, get help. My best analogy is just like this. If your car is broke, what are you going to do? If you're not a mechanic, you're not going to fix it.
You need a mechanic.
You need a mechanic. Go get you a counselor who's biblically based, but also practically based, so that you can get the practical tools and the spiritual tools to clean yourself up and begin to start a fresh new season.
So one, start with prayer.
Amen.
Start with prayer. Praying to God, being humble. Humble and transparent. God is always listening and has the answers for you. We just gotta listen. 2, recognize that there's a problem and don't be in denial. Do not be in denial over a problem. 3, fight for your family and do whatever is necessary to restore. Write down any areas you need to improve on and to commit to doing the work of self-change from within. Again, it's an inside job. To get it together, to stay together, to make it work. Then connect yourself with godly couples that have long-lasting marriages that you can begin to glean wisdom beyond your circumstances. And then finally, begin to make new choices, new changes, one step at a time. God did it for me, He can do it for you.